I think that should be that, and we are potentially back. Scared A. So, yeah. Welcome
Boom.
back, everybody. We are here to finish up our final portion of our Sunday evening for everyone.
It was Canada mandated. Holy, I almost said words there.
Mhm.
No, you didn't.
No, it was close. I don't know.
As a person who doesn't words on a regular basis, I'm an expert on your unwordsiness. So, I got a weird question for you guys.
Yeah.
And I think I know me and Nigel might be on the same page with this to a certain degree. But do you have
Sure,
any...
I'm the X card. Of course I am.
Naturally.
Well, I know because me and Nigel have talked specifically about the bailout before I ever got mine, about the texture on it
Mm-hmm.
and just how nice it feels in hand. And I was wondering if you guys have ever bought a knife purely because of its tactile feel. Because I might have done it twice in a row.
I think Nigel agrees with you on the bailout.
Yeah.
With the tactile feel, for sure. But I'm gonna agree with you on the bailout for a completely different reason, and that's actually the feeling of the blade. Like the texture on the blade itself is so different than any Cerakote DLC whatever that I've actually felt before. And that's weird that I'm saying that about a coating, but
it's funny you say that because I was playing around with both of these last night, kind of as I was eating dinner, using them to cut the meat that I was eating. And once I had finished my cuts, I licked the blade clean because I'm a savage, and that's just the way I do. And the texture on the blade, I did not like.
On the bailout, I'm sure that would be fucking creepy.
I did not like that on my tongue.
Yeah, definitely for me, it was the texture and the just the deadly feel of the aluminum in hand that one. I would definitely not buy one of the originals with the plastic handles. I don't like the feel of it.
I don't think I've ever felt so drastically different about two different variants of a single knife.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess maybe the Super Freaks.
Yeah.
But usually they're fairly similar.
What you need to do is you just need to take the Tanto off of it.
Can we talk about the difference in the color between yours and mine too?
Yeah, we can. Yeah, for sure. Mine much more of a yellowy kind of browny kind of. Yours almost much more of a forest greeny. It's got some blue hints to it. I did paint jobs, so I might know the under hints of different colors. And yeah, almost a purpley bluey kind of undertone to your green.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Where Nigel and my green have much more of a brown, yellowy kind of undertint to our green.
Yeah. And it's definitely not quite 940 green. And this is not really showing it very well, but it's not. It doesn't have as much of that blue.
No,
but it's that one.
That one has more of almost a purpley kind of blue, almost reddish kind of hint to the Osborne.
Yeah.
Which is weird to say in greens, but there's undertones and sparkles and blibbity bleh in paint. Yeah. So,
Mr. Fisk is saying in chat, if only we had someone here who went to art school.
Yeah, if only.
I love that no one's caught on yet.
Yeah.
It's been hinted at so many times. And I've thrown Joe under the bus and just kept quiet.
I know, Joe's not here. I can't believe Joe's not here to talk us through his art school understandings.
But yeah, it's the same thing when it comes to the swayback, and it's a completely different texture, but it feels damn nice. I'm hesitant.
Different texture, but the like smoothie, weirdy titanium that the
Yeah.
Sleesh, Marcin Sleesh stuff has in particular.
It has that kind of worry stone kind of feel to it to me.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. The Techno and the Spidey Chef don't have it as much as the Bowie and the Swayback do. The rounding in particular.
That's what I was going to say. The rounding is what really kind of seals the deal for me.
Yeah.
This is just a silly thing to be talking about at all. But yeah, I've bought more than one knife apparently just because it felt nice in my hand. And not
here's
like
the thing.
it felt nice to use in my hand.
Here's the thing with the bailout, unless we got some comments that we got to address, because we're in third episode. So if you guys got questions, shoot them at us for sure.
Please.
But what I was going to say about the clip in particular, on mine, super tight.
Yeah.
Like even for a bug out clip or for whatever, compared to like I put a bug out clip on my 940. I've had other like my H&K. But yeah, for some reason, the way that mine came out of the factory is like almost cold steel, like grab your pocket type of thing.
Well, as a demo of mine, if you listen closely, don't know if that's getting picked up on the camera, but there's got that little harmonic going.
Yeah.
Yeah, like crisp. Anyway, regardless of sound, what it feels like in the pocket is it just doesn't want to come the hell out of my pocket, which I'm disappointed about because it hangs up. I will just take the clip off and flex it a little bit looser, and I'm sure it'll be fine. But I do notice that it grabs more than a 940 does with a bug out clip. And I know Fisk hates bug out clips, but I've got 2 or 3 of them to work with. And I think so far the bailout is the one that is resisting me the most.
That is fair.
I was going to say, I might just do an experiment and see what happens.
Yeah.
Ooh, I like where your head's at. Put a long deep carry, a long black. Oh, ooh.
Yeah. This one just happened to be close at hand. I guess this one is too.
I don't mind that. Idea. Yeah.
Yeah. Might try it out just to see.
I have the joys to be able to actually put that clip onto my knife and look at it and feel it probably before I purchase it, because the joys of working in a knife store is I can probably do that and get away with it and go, hey, I like that. Let's buy that knife or clip. Yeah. So that might be a thing.
The thing that I was going to say too, though, is that because of how tight that clip is, because mine's fairly tight as well, I've been carrying this in my back pocket because it's less of a like shred your pocket risk.
You're a monster.
I mean,
you and your Anthem back carry.
Yeah.
No, let's talk about that for a second. No, I want, like, seriously. Anthem in the back pocket is
like a monster.
The most terrible thing I've ever heard, man.
And yet it works so good.
Yeah.
It just works.
No.
Yeah.
No, it does not.
No.
I'm genuinely pondering asking Benchmade about a clip for this thing to see if I can modify.
I back pocket carry a Manly Wasp.
Yeah, same, right?
Yeah, totally same.
Yeah.
You know why I want to carry back pocket carry is because it's cheap enough to replace, although I've heard they're discontinuing it, which is garbage.
Indeed.
Anyway,
it's nonsense.
Yeah, I just heard that recently, that the Manly Wasp is getting discontinued for 2021.
Fair enough.
But bang for your buck, and just to have every single day. You're smiling about something in the chat.
Mr. Fisk is offering me a clip in chat. Which clip do you want? DM me. So I'm gonna chat later.
Cool.
But yeah, Yeah, manly. And you've got an anthem. So that's totally the same thing. Same,
Yeah,
same.
I mean, like the best price I've ever heard of for S90 versus a integral
Discontinued.
Benchmade discontinued.
Rare to come by, especially in our country because of in local laws. Let's just
And
leave it at that.
particularly nice, I would argue, as far as its drop sheddiness and things of that nature. It is.
The worked in factor, yours is especially nice. I will give it credit for having
It
the
has
work.
been carried a lot.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Enough for me to open another beer. So, there's that.
That's probably an idea. Apparently, I'm going to the dark side.
Dun dun dun.
Which
What's on
going?
the dark side?
They have cookies.
I hear they have cake.
If you had said pie, you would have got me, but cake is fucking for chumps and suckers, so I guess.
No, man.
What
The
is
dark
pie
side has
if not
cookies.
just wet cake?
Ugh.
Go fuck yourself. Seriously. Pastry, flowers, like it's there are bakers that are rolling over in their grave right now.
I just really liked the idea of wet cake and just how gross that sounded in my brain.
Yeah.
It's as gross as it sounds, for sure.
No, the dark side has cookies.
Hey, you know what? Cookies are good too.
Dark side does have cookies. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where to go from there.
Yeah.
Apparently, the cake is a lie, and wet cake. Just let that set in.
I don't think you should ever let wet cake set in.
Justin has the solution, which is brandy soaked Black Forest cake.
Okay, here's
That's
the thing.
just moist with the brandy, though. That's not wet.
I had a rum cake when I was like 13 that had so much rum in it, I got drunk before I finished my piece, and then I had a second one.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
But his uncles were there to take care of him, so nothing happened.
Gross.
Like they made sure he got tucked into bed real good.
It was with the camp counselors, guys. Shut up.
They also made sure he got tucked into bed real good.
What do you mean they didn't turn the lights off?
Gross.
You're gonna peel some swayback, 3 or 4 peels. We already talked about it before you probably even noticed. Cutting abilities 9 out of 10. Full circle. That's how that goes full circle right there.
You got to tie the third episode into the first episode.
Indeed.
Well,
Make
you
people come
pulled out
back
your
and
swayback at an appropriate time, so we could just capitalize on that, right? Like that's a good looking knife. It's a good looking
I
knife.
have been all night opening and closing this thing and doing my damnedest to keep the lock bar completely out of the way, so that I'm not making noise doing it.
It's no Ranch Boss SK5 for $55, but it's okay for what it is.
I mean, it's pretty great.
It's not a Wrench Boss SK5 for $55. It's not that at all. It's something completely different.
Mr. Fisk's enthusiasm is for camp counselors, which I don't know how to interpret, and I'm not going to. I refuse.
No, camp counselors are low on the metric scale. Like, seriously low. Have you seen that Netflix episode? Like, seriously, Rotten Tomatoes the fuck out of that shit.
Is it like 17 camp counselors for one giraffe?
Yeah.
Well, there's 27 giraffes, so we got to figure out the measurement of a giraffe before we figure out the measurement of a camp counselor.
But the real question is, how many mufflers is that?
Oh, the mufflers are a side note. Like, they throw in after the fact. It's like carrying the decimal point. Like,
Indeed.
apparently, I can't even read that question or answer, Justin. I'm just not touching that one.
Yeah, that's just into Creepyville.
I'm glad to see our viewers are putting up YouTube non-appropriate questions. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Questions.
Yeah. No,
Just
Justin's
statements.
Justin's just kind of leading into imply that he might have potentially had the chance to get traumatized in his childhood.
Okay, here's the thing. Is there footage? I mean, sorry, no, that's not what I meant.
I don't want to know why you want to know.
On that note, end of the episode.
Yeah.
So Benchmade Bailout, you said.
With a 3 hockey puck remainder. So after your math, you gotta factor in the 3 hockey puck remainder.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the hockey pucks. They're like almost what a muffler is, but it depends on what time of year it is, right? Like, so
I mean,
They'd lose
Yeah.
their value in the summer, of course.
is this a July muffler or is this a February muffler? Like Canada, it matters.
Oh, I thought you were saying the hockey pucks lose their value because that would make more
Oh,
lose their
that's
value.
way
in summer.
better. Let's go with that.
Yeah. Oh, goal.
all right.
So,
Terrible. Please, somebody ask us some questions.
yeah, that's what I was going to say. Please ask some questions because, as you can tell, we have no topics in mind for this portion. And if you think we ramble before, getting rambling.
Please help us.
Okay, the other thing, I've got upgrades in the box. So the Benchmade box, and I got a bailout recently. So, and I modified one. But now the question is do I get rid of a mini barrage in M390 that they don't make anymore, or a D2 Griptilian with AWT scales that was a Cabela's exclusive?
I'm gonna
As
say
a person who doesn't like assisted stuff, that barrage needs to stay in that damn box. That thing's too cool.
I was gonna say keep the D2 Griptilian and kick out the barrage because those scales are really, really nice. And
Those are nice.
yeah, and you definitely did carry the barrage for a long time and it was near and dear to you. But it's also one of those you've evolved past it sort of things, it seems.
Both valid arguments. Both
Yep.
valid arguments. Waiting for some arguments from the viewers because I'm very curious on what everyone has to say.
Mhm.
Indeed. We do have a question that came in the meantime.
Yeah, we can answer that shit.
Ben is saying, top fixed blade rumored to come out next year that you're awaiting. Is there anything that's coming out? That you're like,
I haven't even heard about shit for next year.
Yeah.
yeah,
No
if
clue.
Ben's hearing stuff, apparently you're in the know.
Yeah, seriously. Like,
Okay.
I haven't been looking too much, but
I'm gonna throw one out there, and it's just gonna because it makes me laugh, and I'm sure it'll make you two laugh as well. The Benchmade Meat Crafter.
yeah, I'd like to see that just for the masses, for sure.
I am on hope that they kept it exclusive to Benchmade.com and MeatEater.com just for the first year, and next year they'll release it to the general public. I would love that.
They did that with the Adamas, and they did it for military and stuff like that. So that would be cool if they did.
Yep.
I know it's going to be kind of maybe slightly redundant, but the other thing I was joking around a couple weeks ago, but fixed bladed 530, 531, something
That could be cool.
along that line. If they were to take that blade profile and make a fixed blade,
Little boot knife.
Mhm.
we were joking around about everything that they were discontinuing and what do they have planned for next year and blah blah blah. And that thing in a fixed blade, I think, again, just sexy as hell. So
Indeed.
I picked this up a little bit ago, and I'm reminded of how sad I am that they're discontinuing it.
Mhm. The fixed blade infidel.
Yeah.
yeah, he should
It's-
say those things because that helps.
Nah. If you don't know, then you don't know.
I see. I see.
Mr. Fisk just asked in chat, isn't that just basically a fixed infidel? That's exactly what it is. It's the fixed bladed infidel.
No, I think he's referring to Dennis talking about the 530 or 531.
That also makes sense.
How dare you, sir? Those are totally different knives.
Yeah, they're not quite the same blade profile.
Okay, so
Mine
the
has
blade is
a
actually
dick and balls
close.
on it.
The handle is where they differ, for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yours also doesn't have a dick and balls. Apparently,
No.
that's a theme for Benchmade.
Yep.
It's important that it doesn't have a dick and balls. And I think they need to old style 80s boot knife classic it rather than fucking black class, blibbity blah, tactical
Mhm.
overseas war it like your infidel was. I think they got to go Harley division.
Yeah.
Mr. Fisk is saying in chat, Nigel is right, Paul is wrong. Shocker. And I'm confused as to what he's talking about because
I'm
About
not
the
sure what
530,
about.
531 thing. And that he was talking about, that was basically the fixed blade
Oh,
infidel.
yeah.
okay.
I
Gotcha.
disagree with him. That's fine.
I was going to say, because he agreed with me in chat saying that the Barrage is discontinued and you can get a Griptilian with is it AWT?
Yeah.
AWT scales anytime?
And D2 is easy to come by in their customizer. So, yeah, there's a valid point there.
Mr. Fisk is saying mean things in chat, and
He's suggesting
not
that
nice.
Paul needs a helmet.
Well, the problem is that Frankenstein or Frankenstein's monster killed him. So he's a little bit bitter tonight. He's on edge. He's on edge. It's fine.
If I was allowed to vote, I would have voted for you, but I'm
I
not
mean,
allowed.
we had our 15-minute Canadian mandated break. You could have taken the time out to relax a little bit because that's what we do. I mean, I'm just saying,
Mean.
well,
Although a helmet probably wouldn't be a terrible idea. I just almost dropped my beer, so I mean,
Yeah.
what the hell do I know?
a helmet's not going to save your beer. That's how much you need a helmet.
Unless it's somewhat for the beer. Think about that.
Mr. Fisk just said, Frankenstein didn't kill me. My so-called Instagram friends did.
It's so cool.
Are they
Quote unquote
so-called Instagram friends? Or
oh, the friends are real. It's the Instagram thing that's up for grabs for sure.
Indeed.
gotcha. So I got nothing.
Yeah. The only thing that I'm going to throw out there and tease up a little bit more was a little while back, Mr. Fisk put up the question again of where's Joe? Well,
Yes.
we needed some Halloween decorations, right? So he got strung up a little bit, and yeah, haven't taken the decorations down yet.
Well, I mean, parts of him are with Nigel, and parts of him are with Paul. And then there's some parts that are in my yard around the areas. And I'm pretty sure there's some parts in other neighborhoods, maybe.
Good chance of
I
it.
don't know.
Yep.
Yeah. I blame the chinchilla.
Always.
So-
He plots pretty good.
Yeah.
Mr. Fisk is asking, which part of him messaged me on Instagram just now?
It was his ghost.
I was gonna say his dick, just
That
because
too.
I was gonna make it weird.
Aren't they one and the same?
Yeah. Also,
Ghost dick.
Ben is saying it sounds like a bad episode of Dexter, which
Yeah.
Dennis would know.
They're making a 10th season.
Yes.
Let's talk about that for a second. Fuck,
Yeah.
No, we can't.
I mean, we can. Maybe we shouldn't.
But
Yeah.
other than that,
Ben in chat is excited about it. He just said, hell yeah.
Excellent.
So, yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah, I'm extra excited about it. Knife editions. Nigel just recently got a mini Super Freak.
It's in the other room. But yes, I did.
Oh, what the hell, man! All right, me and Paul both just got bailouts. So, I'm just saying, we got some new stuff that's added to the EDC rotations.
Mr. Fisk actually just asked a really interesting question that you might want to address.
All right, what's he got?
And then Ben also one-upped it. So,
all right,
can Dennis talk about his bailout reprofile? How hard was it? Walk us through it.
Okay, who's that question from?
Mr. Fisk and Ben.
Both of them asked that?
Mr. Fisk asked it. Ben +1'd it.
Okay, so it wasn't actually that bad at all. What I did, and it's actually not as even on this side as it is on this side, but that's also because Benchmade does a shit job on their center grind, which Paul can attest to. His bailout was off in the exact same way.
It's funny how similar those kind of things are, considering how different the color of our knives are.
Yeah, the anodizing itself. So basically what I did is I just took a diamond paddle that was a very coarse one along the corner of the actual Tanto itself and just proceeded to shave down that area. And I knew there was going to be a weird, like, triple grindy thing here until I got it to the point where I was happy. And then I could even it out kind of left to right to get it to where I wanted it to be. And like I said, I still truly believe that it is slightly fat. I am probably going to thin it out slightly more, like type of thing. Okay. Something like that. Yeah. Anyway, but I'd rather underdo something and play around with it and see where it makes me happy and maybe do it a little bit more than overdo it and be disappointed that I did too much or whatever. Yeah. So, me.
So John also jumped in and said, yeah, I seen the reprofile, looks sick. Ben also said,
Which John? Which John?
John in Mississauga.
Ah, cool. Thanks, man. Yeah.
And then Ben is saying also, Benchmade, you guys watching this? I think they're not, but they should, because that would be a good option.
Mm-hmm.
And on this side in particular, which is where I put my focus on, it's kind of funny because I got it really, really nicely beveled. But then when I flipped it over to the other side, obviously when I reprofiled it, the middle had actually disappeared completely because I ground it from this side down to where there was nothing left. Mm-hmm. So I actually had to bring it back on this side and even the bevel out in that middle. And I could physically feel the hump that I was getting as I was clearing it out. Yeah. You physically feel the hump.
Oh, yeah.
Until the hump is gone, and then you have some satisfaction when you're done.
Yeah, that tracks.
Yep.
Mr. Fisk is saying REC offers reprofiling for $15. Eagles, not Maple Leaves. I don't know who REC is.
I would do it for $15.
Are you
No,
REC?
No, I'm not REC.
Okay.
But I'm just saying, for the amount of work that I would do, like normally what my sharpening is a $5, like in the shop. Just Alberta prices, check provincial because they vary depending on cutting edge. But my Calgary store is $5 to put an edge on, and if you gave me 15 to make that thing into a drop point, I would probably take it home and make it worth my while to do what I did to my own. So yeah.
I definitely like the idea of having that blade profile. But at least for the time being, I think I'm going to enjoy the fact that this might be the only Tanto, especially in a folding knife, in my collection. Because I learned fairly early on that they weren't my most favorite thing.
And I mean, even Nigel, you have kept your Tanto and even polished your Tanto for scraping, chisel-y, whatever unique type of purposes.
Main thing that I did was I actually thinned out the angles on the bevel for the front part there because it was very obtuse. So I thinned them out and set them to like a 20-ish or 15, might have been 17-ish, I guess, yeah, on each side as opposed to like the 25 that they were on that front edge.
I'm pretty happy with the fact that you're really precision accurate with your angles.
Yeah.
It's that 20, 15, maybe 17 degree-ish angle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And by angle clamp, you mean absolutely freehanded? I didn't check the angles at all and I have no clue what it's actually at? Yeah, yeah.
But you did thin it out compared to what the factory was at.
Oh,
right?
yeah, extremely.
Okay, so the thing with Paul and mine is we were both significantly thinner on one side of the Tanto than we were on the other.
Right.
Their secondary grind on both of ours is significantly obtuse compared to the primary grind along the flat of the blade, right? So
yeah, like on the thinning out I did, you can, it's hard to get the right angle of it, but you can kind of see how thin the bevel is towards the corner compared to how thick the bevel is at the tip there. And that's because of how thick the blade stock and stuff is up on this side in comparison.
And it's not quite to the same degree, but even out of the factory now, they're doing that to a certain degree.
Cool.
Yeah,
it seems
very
like they're
the other
thinning out
side
a
of
little more towards the tip. But I've only had this thing for a couple days, and I've already been like, I think I'm going to sharpen it.
Yeah.
Because it's definitely serviceable right now, but it could be sharper.
Okay, so here's the thing with M4, and then it can bring up the conversation with M4, is M4 does really well on a toothy grit, but it does really well on a polished grit too. So the joys about M4 is, where do you want your M4? Like, I'm not saying that Benchmade's factory grind has where you want it, but you could put that thing on a super fine diamond and strop it and probably be super happy with where it's at, right? Like,
but I can also take it to 14,000, right?
You can. I have not. I did not put mine to 14.
I don't know if I'm going to, but I might try it out of curiosity because it's easy to go back from that to diamonds and stropping and being happy.
I actually just put mine at 4,000 and then stropped, and that's where I'm happy with it right now myself. Good. So for the edge that you saw over the last couple of days when you saw mine was literally just 4,000 Spyderco brownstones on the flat, whatever type of thing, and then stropping them off, and that's where my edges sat. And again, I'm even if on the close up you can see like the edges relatively polishy. Like,
I can see it right there beside your scar.
Right next to my scar, bro.
Indeed.
John is saying in chat that as a side note, he got a smock this week, which is awesome. The smock was actually the runner-up. I was contemplating. I picked this one up and I was like, okay, I'll wait for a little while and decide if this is the one I want. And I walked around and picked up other things that I had on the wish list and was like, no, I think this is the one.
So I gotta ask John: is he happy with the clip, or is he gonna upgrade to a like MXG clip or something?
That's a great question.
He just put up a comment there.
Yeah, he's saying he's got small mitts, so it's a little bit of an odd grip, but overall he likes it. Justin was asking him if it's appealing, because of the peel ply, but
Yeah.
I don't care. I like it. It gets that knife to a decent price point. That
Well, Joe did say he was willing to die with peel fly in his pocket, so
Yeah.
I mean, maybe that's why he's not here.
And there was a more recent message from John that I was referring to there.
Oh, okay. Previous order put my Carta scales and a TI clip. So
Nice.
that's the way to rock a smock. I didn't even see that one. Thanks, Nigel.
Yeah.
Just out of curiosity again, John, what kind of micarta? Where are you getting it from? Because I'm curious.
That's a good question.
Mm-hmm.
He got it from Kyle, apparently.
Yeah.
Which I don't know who Kyle is, but cheers to Kyle.
And you might have to follow up with him. I was going to say you might have to follow up with him with him on that DMs and stuff, because it's getting a little past the time of calling it off for the night anyways.
He's saying he'll post it on Instagram tomorrow. Sounds good.
Cool.
Cool, man. Looking forward to it.
Indeed. On that note, like Nigel said, it's time for us to go Betty Bye.
Yes.
Betty Bye.
You heard me.
Call yourself a knife guy. Jesus Christ.
I'm a 37-year-old man. What of it?
So yeah, we gotta head off so we can make sure we get Paul tucked in and get him his milk and cookies so he can have a nice sleepy weepy.
No doubt. No scary stories, man. It's after Halloween. It's November. You can tell Christmas stories until then.
No, you can't.
It'll make Paul a lot more comfortable, and maybe it'll make Joe come back from the dead. We'll see.
Yeah. So we shall find out. And with all that being said, make sure you head on the Patreon page to check out all the different tiers and giveaways and events and prizes and stuff that happens there, and see if you want to join in for the fun on that.
Indeed. And then head on over to Instagram. We are slowly but surely creeping our way to 1,000, and that's a number that would be neat. So do it.
Having said that as well, we're also slowly, very casually creeping to 500 on YouTube.
We are.
So it's almost a race of where the first giveaway is going to be, because I think we're going to do one either way, whether we get to 1,000 on Instagram or whether we get to 500 on YouTube, or maybe two giveaways at the same time. Yeah, goddamn.
Much closer on YouTube, but that would be cool if we could get them going at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, either way, I think it's cool that we're making those milestones. So,
hell yeah,
it very much is. So yeah.
So follow us.
Indeed. And make sure you like and subscribe and share this video, or you will be cursed.
The level of curses will be
it just popped into my head that I totally forgot to do that today. Yeah.
It's all right.
Yeah.
We'll do it. We'll do the thing.
With that, this is Nigel the Smith signing off.
I am who I am. I'm Dennis Fivers.
And I'm at exile.ca.
We will catch you again next time.
Were you waiting
for Joe?
Were you waiting for Joe to answer? Like, Joe's not here, man.
We don't need